Dream Master, Pharmacist Pocket. He reincarnated dirt to fulfill the dreams of countless people, but he did not revive wild issue round his dream. He added all his powers to himself, and removed the ID. He thinks he's peeling. I do not know that I have shed my skin into a shell. They have no soul, no empty shell of self. In this episode we take a closer look at Pharmacist's life in a video. As a child abandoned by the world, for as long as I can remember. He's all alone. Don't know your name. I don't know who my parents are. In the chaos of the ninja world, dark hit on the head. He leaned against a big tree. I thought my life would end so quickly, and opened my eyes again. I saw a kind smile. That person is the orphanage director pharmacist Wild Nayu. Not only did he use medical ninjutsu to save him, and they took him back to the orphanage. Wild as you let him, I'll make the orphanage my own home. Think of her as your mother. What do you need? Just bring it up. And gave him a new name, Pocket. The other orphans were kind to him too, and he was given an iron helmet. He is very happy. Seemed to have it all. He couldn't sleep that night. Unintentionally. Heard the orphanage was underfunded, and the orphanage directors are having a hard time with it. They even feel that the arrival of Tao has made things worse. At this he gave up and fell. He was then subjected to a lecture by the dormitory administrator's aunt, and make him remember when to go to bed. Wild as you tried to protect him. It also turns out he's nearsighted and can't tell the time. Give him your glasses. A warm wave came through his heart. Moved to tears. I just kept saying thank you. The one who's only ever met her. To actually see him as if he were already there. In no time, he fits in with the orphanage. This time, he was very happy. Still under the tutelage of Nanyu, I learned medical ninjutsu. He often goes with Nanyu to heal ninjas, to help pay for the orphanage. 3 years passed in this way. Once for the snake pill treatment. Orochi, tell him his medical skills are good, and invited him to become a ninja, and he said no on the spot. He just want to stay in Dean Wild as you side. Save as much money as you can for the orphanage. It was the life he wanted more than anything. But not long. Huan's Ang is carrying snake balls, with all female Kai Black 2 orphanage VIP. On the grounds that Ian is about to start a massive war, using the orphanage money as leverage, threatening the safety of children at the orphanage. Nanyu had no choice. Have no choice but to agree, and the group hides the purpose of their visit. One more person. A pocket eavesdropping in the dark. I soon realized, in order not to put the dean in a dilemma, he took the initiative to walk up to the group to hide them. All the children from the orphanage were standing outside that day, refused to go back for a long time. He warned, "You've forgotten the rules of the orphanage. I have to go to bed by 900. He remembered that better than anyone. Had roots to the pocket. He was also trained as a teacher. He tried his best. For 5 years. He accomplished a large number of tasks excellently. A lot of intelligence was gathered. Every night, he's always thinking about the people at the orphanage, and on a mission to Rock Hidden Village. Have an accident, he was exposed as a spy, surrounded by IWA bin. He opened his watch and looked at it. It's 9:00 p.m. If I hadn't left the orphanage, it's time for bed again. He instinctively avoided it. Backhand with one hand. He discovers that, lying on the ground, it turned out to be his most beloved dean, Wild Nayu. He quickly treated the dean with medical ninjutsu. The dean woke up a little, but she doesn't know why he's treating her. He thought the dean's glasses had fallen off and he couldn't see. He immediately took off his glasses and put them on the dean. But the dean still got 3 words. Who are you? This makes Stu very shocked and devastated. Someone who used to take care of herself like a mom. I don't even know what I look like. It's the only place you belong. It was the dean who forgot. Or, have you changed? He came to the river. Want to see what you've become. Watching the reflection floating in the water. He remembered that he had been alone. He remembered that the dean had given him his name. Gave him glasses. Gave him everything. And now she can't remember who she is. He took off his glasses. I can't even recognize myself. I don't know where I'm going. That's when Snake Ball came out of his reflection. Drill out. In the Snake Ball's mouth. He learned the truth of the matter. It turned out that Root had planned to kill him and the dean all along, because they're too good at working together. I know too much. And intelligence for the country, for the village. Too important for a ninja. The more you know, the more dangerous it is. So the group has already arranged for them. A suicide, murder and death scenario. And the reason the dean wouldn't recognize him. Be due to. Duanzong manipulated the photo. Changed the photo to someone else. So in the dean's eyes, that Matt Dag was the one she was worried about. He becomes a double agent who betrays the village. It's a mission target that can gain freedom. Round here. A shrewd guess. Snake Bowl is here to take out the survivors. So he chose to strike first. A fly filled the snake bowl. Then he kept swinging the scalpel at the snake Meru. Took all his anger out on Serpent Meru. He always wanted to know what he was. I thought I had my answer. But because of the root, and made him lose himself. The glasses were a bond between him and the dean. The name should have been his. Don't forget your loved ones no matter what happens. It's the dean. Then who the hell am I? Then the philosopher's Snake Ball came out of his mouth again. Snake Ball told him. If all that has gone before does not prove himself, then you should collect more things, more information, to make a scientific deduction, and then repeated the experiment to prove it. The knowledge and abilities acquired are slowly accumulated in your body, only a little to make up for their own shortcomings, and be reborn into a new, perfect self. Summary is actually one sentence. Just gather all the objects and intelligence in the world. It's a natural derivation. Who are they? Soon he will be. Snake Ball's speech sinks. At his most confused and vulnerable moment, someone who could kill him at any time, told him the truth, and take him with him to find himself. He chose to believe, and only believe. And then, Serpent Meru got his help. There are more and more underlings. Together they set up their own village called Yin Xing Village. Snake Balls can be nasty and spicy. Can do something to him. Still very good. Not only to be number 2 at the Y in Inju group. Moreover, various scientific research techniques and ninjutsu research of the snake pill will teach him. That's a good boss. That's why he's obsessed with snake balls too. When the snake ball almost got crushed by a weasel, he threw out several swords in his hand, and several detonators saved the snake ball. When Snake Meru was chased by Shao organization, he'll be a double agent for Snake Maru, walking around with Scorpion and Did Ara. Later Big Snake Maru planned the Woodleaf Collapse plan. He sneaked back to Kiba to take the Nakamoto exam. With a long time cannot pass. The enthusiastic big brother set up to gather intelligence. He also has a mission to get close to Sasuke. He used the intel on the card from the start. It caught the attention of Sasuke, Naruto and Sakura. He deliberately said that the village was a newly established small country. Anger the same village sound endure 3 people. Let them inadvertently cooperate with you. You've done your dirty work. So that Naruto Sakura et al. I let my guard down right at him. After Serpent Meru planted strawberries for Sasuke, he approached Sasuke easily. After telling Sasuke and others that they were separated from their companions, it was very easy to climb their team. In this way, he'll be able to collect Sasuke's data more easily. To get more data, he lead them into the enemy's trap. After days of fighting together, he got a lot of data, and he gave it to Snake Ball. Snake Ball uses these data, analyze and conclude. Sasuke is perfect to be his next vessel. Then Big Snake Miru himself to supervise the battle. He did not need to remain in the examination room as a class, and he doesn't want any more to come out, so I chose to give up the exam. Then Snake Maru arranged it. Will absorb Kakra's copper armor to force Sasuke to use the curse seal. However, Sasuke recreated Zhao Li's body art in desperation, turning the tide, and forced the curse seal back. Soon Snake Ball summoned the pocket. Tell him to take Sasuke out as soon as possible, because Ser Paru was worried that Naruto had eroded the darkness in Sasuke's heart. He works very efficiently. Soon he found Sasuke's location, and took down the 3 men guarding the door. When we were about to take Sasuke, Kakashi showed up. He pulls out his scalpel and attacks Kakashi from a blind angle, but Kakashi caught it easily. As a senior spy, had an exit strategy already planned. He used the art of the dead soul to easily escape the window. On the way down, he also lifted his mask to pick out Kakashi. It's a feeling of confidence. And then, he goes off as a dark side ninja. Infiltrate the venue of the elimination round of the Nakamoto exam. Watch the fight and wait for your chance, in order to better hide themselves. And for a little bit of good in my heart. Seaway field injury aggravated. He chose to treat Zeta. Some people say that the pharmacist has the opportunity to attack the chess suspect at first sight. That's exactly what it looks like. Then he saw me fighting with Iro and Sasuke. It went to the top. It took a lot of money. Chakra didn't say. He was seriously injured. He knew that he could not count on the crane for a while. To keep the plan on track, he unleashed a massive illusion, put most of the people in the room to sleep. Ambushed sound endurance and endure have responded. It didn't take long for the fire to spread throughout the wood. But wood leaves have a very deep heritage, and the will of a mortal fire. After the serpent Meru was sealed by the 8th flying day, their plan was a complete failure. After that, Snake Meru lost his hands. Medicine Man's pocket tried his best. Snake Maru decided to find a class hand treatment. Pocket no Gang Hand and Snake Maru are legendary 3 ninjas, and the granddaughter of the column. Now they're attacking the wood leaves. It's all over the place again. He didn't think Gang Hand would give Snake Pill treatment easily, but Snake Bowl is sure of it. After all, the 2 main weaknesses of the hand. One is to break and drop the tree. To his blood, the 2 sides were tense at first. Mute the use of poison needles directly on large snake pills. Gang Hand is a punch smashed behind the wall. Gave them a scare. To see such a master, he had 2 ideas. So strong, so scary. This guy is definitely single. After Serpent Meru said that he could revive the broken undroped tree, the master hesitated. They offered a deal for a therapeutic arm. He gave them 7 days to think about it. Soon it was 7 days. Class Hand alone came to the agreed place. Big Snake Maru is very happy. Hold the deal. Raise your hand and prepare for the treatment. He just threw out the pain without interruption. It's not like he's trying to ruin Snake Balls. It's his fellow medical ninja. Found the chakra of the Kunda hand. There was an air of murder. Later, Gang Hand violent demolition, and the snake ball has been picking the side. Thousands of horses galloping in your heart. You're the one who got into it. But then I'm the one who gets hit. Fortunately, the hand is only a power door. But, at an average speed, they ran and hid. It took a lot of energy. See the right time. Swallow a grain pellet. Use the chakra scalpel to strike back. Because of the speed advantage, soon he was all over his hand, severing some of the muscles that support the limbs. greatly reduced the combat effectiveness of the main hand, to keep her from using her powers. And then, a hand on the chest. Let the class hand have to use both hands to drag the two blast star. He knelt down and sighed. This guy's ninjutsu talent and prowess, even better than me in my prime. When the hood was in his glory, the hand suddenly flared up. One hand cut him in the back of the head. There's been a mix-up with his neuroelectronic signature when he tried to do it. But the foot moved. After his brief debugging, no matter how hard can play, he dragged his feet, trying to take advantage of a healing master. Unexpectedly can also wait for people to arrive, and Gun Hand's treatment is over. Turning it back on him is an output. Although he adapted to the body, but they did not return to their normal flexibility. It wasn't long before he was cornered. At this time, he opened his palm, let the fear of blood in the hand. In a moment, and it's blood he doesn't intend to waste. He asks Snake Ball to take off the bandage, apply the blood to the Snake Ball's arm. Then he summoned his snakes for Snake Ball. Then he matched up with Mew, another hand to the chest. He doesn't have some kind of fetish, does he? After the silent release of the toxic fog, he went through the ground. I grabbed both legs of the Mew. It was a very indecent pose. It didn't take long. He silenced it and knocked it down. After that he went on to rub the hand. He even used his feet. Naruto couldn't look past. Look over. In his opinion, Naruto doesn't have any ninja talent. It's a far cry from Sasuke. But he underestimated Naruto's perseverance. Naruto, after being attacked many times, unexpectedly empty-handed to catch his stab in the past. The hand is still firmly held by Naruto. See Naruto's momentum erupt. I actually made a spiral pill. He used yin healing in advance. I ate Naruto's meatballs. He was badly wounded as a result. Chakra bottomed out, but my life was saved. After the class hand to overcome fear of blood, the drugs on Zilla I are wearing off. 10,000 snakes fight for natural disadvantage. Finally the Snake Ball had to take a dark escape away, and the plan to have the arm treated by the hand is over. But I don't think you can fix Snake Maru's arm with your hands. When they got back, the resurrection of the Serpent Ball is imminent. But the sound endurance is not back. He knew he must have met strong resistance. Thereupon, he excited the law will Jun Malu from the hospital bed excited up. Tell him to bring back new containers. In the end, Yin and Inju and Jun Malu did not come back. But Sasuke made it here. For the hood. That's not a good thing, okay? After Sasuke came, Serpent Maru is obsessed with Sasuke, and he doted on Sasuke to heaven. I almost called Sasuke daddy. He was also more or less snubbed. More than 2 years later, it's time for him to deliver information to Scorpion Red Sand. This time he brought Snake Balls, thinking of working together to kill the Reds and Scorpion. He arrived at the bridge on time and waited. He knows about Scorpion Red Sand. Don't like waiting for people. I don't like to keep people waiting. But this time he came a little later. He has long been engaged in collusion work. He asked a few questions, but I'm not waiting for him to blow the whistle. Big snake balls appear. They act in waves. Pockets excessively with scalpel. Cut open the camouflaged crimson. It wasn't a scorpion. After hiding behind Naruto and others appear. Naruto meets Serpent Maru. Anger value report. Direct use of nine-tail power and Snake Ball hard gang. In the beginning, he also tried to sneak up on Naruto from behind. But only to be Naruto turned back a mouth gun to fly. Good luck. Standing behind him Sakura reduced the impact for him. You might not be able to stand up for a while. The extrapolation of the hood is also excellent. He only came to ambush Suji based on the Kiba Ninja. That means Scorpion is dead. Because of what he knows about Scorpion, Scorpion can't be forced to confess. I wouldn't have faked someone to get rid of a snake ball. Unless the scorpion is dead. See Naruto even become a monster to chase Sasuke to hand. See Sakura at all costs to be smoked also want to close to foretell Naruto. That's the kind of thing you do for your partner. Let him envy and let him move the side of the heart. See Sakura injured. He can't help treating Sakura. And a perfectly reasonable excuse. Maybe you can help kill one or two members of the group. Soon Yamato with Naruto Sakura raced to their stronghold. He also arrested Sasai, who sent the regiment to deliver information. He fought alone. A few bitter without forced retreat Naruto and others. In the face of Naruto's angry offensive, he defuses it like Taikai. Posture that's called a grace. Yamato the demon of the wooden escape. He was just bouncing around. Just avoid them all. Sakura that ahead of strange power swing is simply not hit. Originally deal with the opposite three people. He can stay out of the wind. But no luck today. Sakura blows out a beehive with one punch. The wasp does not sting Sakura. And they went after him. Faced with a huge swarm of bees. He was forced to do an abstract radio gymnastics routine. In a situation where numbers and luck are out of favor. He thought of being tied up by Yamato wood. He used a scalpel to cut through the cane and untie Sasai. He said Naruto was pathetic. Because Sasuke isn't the Sasuke he used to be. People change. Suddenly Sakai grabbed him from behind. He was puzzled. And Sakai gave him the answer. That's what he just said. People change. Therewith. He was bound by Yamato's Kitsukoki. He told them, there's no way they're strong enough to take Sasuke. But they didn't believe it, and left him a message. A sort of thing. How do we know if we don't try? Later, just as he expected, Sasuke ran them all by himself. In the end, Sasuke is also preparing to use the Kirin to clear the field. Big snake ball to stop. Sasuke also said he had no reason to stop. And Toko's timely appearance gives Sasuke a reason. That is to use their hands to remove one or two members of the group. To improve Sasuke's chances of revenge. Sasuke listened. That's a good excuse. So Sasuke gathered his knife and followed them. Since Snake Ball's body has reached its limit, it's rebirth time again. He was waiting on the side. But got the death stare of the Snake Ball. The murderous air knocked him back several steps. He knows. This is Snake Ball hitting his limit. For their own protection. And that's exactly the momentum of the Snake Ball. The power of the Snake Ball. In his heart. Serpent Maru defeated Naruto. The two giants of wind and shadow. I almost toppled the leaves. In the face of the legend of the other two forbearance is not false. And the power of the Snake Ball is growing rapidly. Once the Serpent Meru has Sasuke's body, he felt that the whole Shinobi realm would fall at the feet of the Serpent Meru, and he was the first man at the foot of the Snake Meru. It's okay. Maybe even take a whip and whip a Snake Ball. While he was dreaming, his lower Snake Meru was killed by Sasuke. Suddenly he was lost again. He doesn't know who he is anymore. Have no identity. It's only natural. He used to be attached to the dean. Attached with big snake balls. Gave him a temporary new identity. And who he is. It ends when their lives end. Then he remembered Naruto. Naruto was once like himself. Is an orphan. Being ostracized and ignored by everyone. He was also unable to tell whether he was a Vortex Naruto or a nine-tailed fox. I didn't know. Naruto chose to believe in himself. Believe in your own strength. Believe oneself is the Vortex Naruto. That's why Naruto knows his identity so well. I have a partner who acknowledges and accepts me. However, he himself never wanted to surpass the Serpent Ball. Just clinging to the power of the Snake Ball, he decided to follow Naruto's example. Believe in your own strength. So he set a goal to surpass the Snake Ball. and use it to find a new self. But he acted as a three-man. It won't be easy to beat the snake ball, to gain power quickly, and the power of Serpent Maru's former subordinates, all implanted into his body. He inherited all the scientific achievements of the snake pill, and also arrived at the dragon cave, learned the magic. In the pursuit of power on the road, he went further and further away. Later, the black man found him. Under the guidance of the black god, he had access to a wealth of household intelligence, to get the Sasuke that Snake Maru wanted and never got. He chose to steal the skin of the tiger. I brought the whole team with me, plus Uchi Wave Spot to find a man to talk about cooperation. That's when the earth declared war on the five powers. It is time to employ. What's more, he still has to bring soil fear of Uchi Wave Spot. Kaiichi was forced to cooperate, but Dotto didn't trust him, not only to force him to demonstrate the ninjutsu of earth transfer, and implanted multiple spores in his body for surveillance, even though he took the initiative to get Yamato back, enhanced and upgraded the self-destructs with dirt, and he took the lead of the Union Army. But it has done nothing to increase trust. He wanted to catch Uo and Uo before Toto. That way, I can make Kaiichi do whatever he wants. In the beginning his filthy pieces spread across the battlefields, while inflicting many casualties on the allied ninjas and a lot of people's dreams, especially his dirt-ass version of the Ninja Alliance. It's like a dream come true. His title of Dream Master is also justified here. In spite of this, the rebirth of dirt, they're also two trumps. That's the old and the sick and the sick. Uchiba Minka on Nagatu. They met Yo and Yo by the river. His mouth was almost crooked with laughter, just when he thought it was safe. One of his generals, the Weasel God, turned against him because of another god, led Naruto and Kirabai to take Nagato away without saying anything, and we went straight back to his location. Just smile, crooked mouth. And now it's back to being angry. But the weasel brought Sasuke. That's good news. In the beginning, he thought of the hatred in Arai Sasuke's heart. Let the brothers keep fighting each other. But he underestimates how much he matters to Sasuke. He ended up fighting his brothers alone. Merely, he's not foes. Because through investigation and research, he not only gained the ability of the flowing flesh of the water moon, it also obtained the recovery ability of CYM Phos, and most importantly, he did it by investigating Shijigo's spell seal, found a heritage site equal to the wetbone forest of Myamush-an, Long D Cave, and learned his magic from the white snake. He felt that he had already surpassed the snake ball. It's not a snake anymore. In his words, full fairy power stripped me of my snakeskin, sublimate into a dragon. He doesn't even know. How do you lose? He used one powerful magic after another, the art of fairy and white shock, and continued use of implanted ninjutsu. There is Jorah Fang of the earth to escape the land. Spider nests open with ghost child pills. There are many Yuya magic fruit dreams sound locked, and the dance of Jun Malu's bones and early ferns, and finally the white phosphorus snake of the snake ball. But he was still beaten as a wild bull by Kukan Sasuke, still under the magic spell of the weasel, Izei Nome. He entered the world of infinite reincarnation. He's been cut off in there over and over again. It's like reminding him again and again. Face failure. But he lied to himself again and again. Impossible to fail. Because he can turn into anyone. You can also add any throwing power to yourself. But the beauty of Iza is to make him face himself. Approve of oneself. Accept your imperfections. Cycle after cycle. He finally stopped pretending to be someone else. The glasses that never gave up. A 9 o'clock bedtime rule that has never been forgotten. The kind who can't help but help someone when they're hurt. But he really wanted in his heart. It's about being like Dean. No. The orphanage was where he wanted to be. He just can't face the fact that he killed the dean himself. I'm not relieved that the dean doesn't recognize me. So he doesn't care how much intel he gathers, how much power was gained. He can't even prove himself. Fortunately, he came to his senses in the eyes on a beauty of the weasel. After the Fourth World War, he went back to the orphanage, became director of the orphanage,